Hello everyone and welcome to the MBS show reviews. This is James Corck, and as always I have here my acolyte and good friend Norman Sanzo. Hey Norman.
Hey James, how you doing, man?
You already know, we have been doing these episode reviews one after the other. There is no mystique in there, man, come on.
I know, but we need to put the illusion that this thing is done.
Immersion broken. What have you done, James? You have opened the secrets. Everyone knows that we are doing these episodes one after the other. There is no mystique. Anyway, in case you guys didn't know, we are doing these episodes back to back. So we just finished reviewing Tradia and we just jumped onto reviewing this episode. And this episode is Inspiration Manifestations, episode 23 of season 4, written by Meghan McCarthy and Corey Powell. It's a best horse episode, so expect me to be best horsey.
Alrighty then.
I'm horsing around. Anyway,
Yeah.
this is the one. This is. I am the one to start saying, what do you think about this episode, Norman? And then you hand it to me. But yeah, what did you think about this episode, dude?
I find it interesting that this is a Spike episode.
I'm sorry, that's a very weird way to say rarity.
No.
Go on. It's okay. No,
I know. I mean, it is a rarity episode, but it also is a Spike episode. It's a Spike-centric episode where Spike does things for his pony waifu, and well, your pony waifu here is really awesome with the no. Oh, what was me?
Oh my god. I thought this episode was just okay. I didn't thought much of it. I didn't thought. I maybe because I was like inadvertently setting up myself to like it, and I'm not going to say I was disappointed by it.
Mm-hmm.
I just say that they could have done so much more with it. I like the marshmallow drama. I like that.
That is a term.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, that exists. There is a tag in Derpiburu that is called marshmallow drama, and it's just dedicated to Rarity crying and Rarity being a drama queen, and this episode is 50 shades of that, and then Amp to 11. Any scene with Rarity eating ice cream and crying is just glorious. I will have that on loop on my computer the whole day because it was so enjoyable. Oh my god, that was great.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should start talking about what the episode is about.
Yeah.
Before we start spewing our opinions on it left and right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the episode about, man? Because I got no idea what's the fair about.
There is a fair going on in Ponyville because, every single episode of this show has to have a new celebration in Ponyville. They have more celebrations than Spain. This is ridiculous. Like there is always an excuse every single day to set up fireworks. Well, in Ponyville there is always every day an excuse to set up a fair. Mm-hmm. And Rarity prepares a rather gaudy looking puppet theater that is not of the liking of the puppet master, that looks like Snip's dad.
Yeah.
I like how he looked like a pony version of Stromboli from Pinocchio. It was cool. I didn't like him at first, but then I realized, hang on a minute, he's the one that makes Rarity cry. This guy is my hero. I love that. So, remember, she's my favorite character, but I love to see her suffer. Which of course sends Rarity into a psychotic, sad rage where she just cannot create anything, and she spends the entire day eating ice cream and crying on her fainting couch in the most adorable way possible. And Spike takes matters into his own hands, or claws in this case, and he goes to the castle of the two sisters to find a spell that fixes Rarity's art block, to say it like that, because come on guys, it doesn't matter how you put it, it's an art block. Every artist will recognize that. When you are working on a picture, then you send a picture to your client and the client says, this is a piece of, buy some apples. So you get depressed, you get sad, and you don't want to keep on drawing. You don't want to keep on creating. You just hide on you just put your head under your pillow and you wish for the depression to go away, but it doesn't. So Spike goes to find a spell to help Rarity on the castle of the two sisters, and he finds the most intimidating book in the planet. I mean, there is the Necronomicon from Army of Darkness, and then there's that.
Yeah, with spikes jutting out. No,
it has spikes coming out of it. How? It can only get more intimidating if it was on fire and it spewed blood. Okay. Good grief. And of course, Spike being an absolute idiot, he's like, oh, this is going to be a good idea. So he gives it to Rarity, and it takes hold of her and possesses her and turns her into a mindless creation machine of green eyes and green magic. And things get so out of control that she ends up turning Ponyville into a golden nightmare, to be perfectly honest with you. It's gold and ruby and sparkly and god, looks like Generation 3 of My Little Pony.
No.
So, don't tell me it looked like it. Foreshadowing to the season 4 finale.
And talking about G3, no. I mean, like you said in the previous setup or in the previous episode, that this is also what you call it, James? A episode full of background things.
Yeah, it's an episode full of background events, and it's a character piece. Yeah. This episode, not so much, but in some respects, it actually is, and it can get surprising at some points as well. Like, for the longest time, I thought Rarity was going to go after the Puppet Master, and she was going to, I don't know, she was going to, like, humiliate him or something, but no, she actually makes a very good-looking, very a practical puppet theater, and the Puppet Master is super happy. He's like, oh my god, thank you so much. And she's like, no problem, darling. And I was like, that's cool. She didn't take revenge on the guy. I am so happy, because that's not my horse. That's not my horse.
Yeah, technically, it's like a commission, because the guy asked Rarity to do this, but Rarity put it upon herself to expand on what she likes instead of what is practical for the Puppet Master.
Yeah, I mean, so it is good that she backtracks and decides to give the guy something good for his money. If he even paid for it, of course. She didn't pay for it.
And also the appearance of Rarity's parents. Yay! Magnum and I forgot her mother's name. I don't think so. There's a name.
I don't remember. I only remember that she was voiced by Tabitha as well.
Yeah, and it was cool. And this, like, there's certain aspects of the show, or in this episode, that there's a lot of background things, like the couch, for one thing, makes a return. Owlicious, and how he always pops up just to tell Spike that's a bad idea. No.
Aloysius was the best character of the entire episode.
Yeah.
He was like a bird version of Twilight, in that he is Spike's conscience if it took shape and became an owl. He was very snarky, and he didn't say a thing. Aloysius was awesome. I love Aloysius in this episode.
Yep. And also, Aloysius understands that, okay, Spike, this is a bad idea. Okay, give Rarity the book once and take it back soon after. And nope, Spike, being the guy who wants to make Rarity happy, just leaves the book to her.
And sadly, he doesn't see he doesn't predict the consequences of his actions. He's that much of an idiot.
Yeah. And
god damn it, Spike, why?
The treehouse itself, like, okay, moving on, like, we got Rainbow Dash bucking the clouds, and Rainbow Dash gets dresses in style. Like, oh my goodness.
Rainbow Dash gets dressed in style. Applejack's car gets turned into a golden card and all that. Yeah. And things get only worse when Spike gets rid of the book. It's like, no, Rarity is still under the act of the spell. How is this happening? Well, because the spell has taken control of her. There are many people complaining about, wait a minute, how the hell did he get rid of the book? How the hell did the book get destroyed? I have a very easy explanation for that. You know, I'm going to make, there is a segue to this, but it's related to it.
Right.
You know how during the 70s and the 80s, in embassies all over the world, there are a lot of papers and, like, important information and important documents that need to be destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
In order to destroy these documents, they have an incinerator, a machine that sets that. It's basically a giant oven where you can throw the papers inside, and the papers will just turn into ash, thus disappearing. Right?
Yeah.
Now imagine you take the book and you put it inside a dragon A dragon who already spews fire. I'm pretty sure that the book is pretty much gone.
Oh yeah.
Gone for good, turned to ash. So I am rather okay with that concept. I'm like, yeah, that's actually that is very clever. If you're going to destroy any written document, you put it inside Spike. He's both a fax machine and an incinerator machine. He's so useful.
The book itself is actually made of stone.
Yeah, well, Rarity changed it.
Yeah, I don't know how Rarity's magic works, but
Besides, if Spike can digest rocks and gemstones, I think he can digest stones, no problem.
True. But
Yeah.
in the end, the spell's broken because Spike told the truth that Rarity, you're an idiot. Stop it.
Yeah, Rarity, you just became awful. You need to stop being awful. Stop being worst pony and go back to be best pony. Go back to the fainting couch and start eating ice cream.
Yeah.
But that's enough to make Rarity get out of the books a spell, which is good. She comes back. She doesn't remember what she has done, and they realize that it doesn't matter what happens when you get an art block. Forcing you to get out of it might not be the best solution.
Yeah.
And trying to force your friends out of it is not the best solution either.
True. I mean,
Sometimes
you have to
they
take it
just need
naturally.
help.
You
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
take it naturally and stuff. And
Exactly.
in the end, Spike learns his lesson, and Twilight Sparkle comes back home complaining.
Complaining that Luna and Cadence had to help Twilight clean the town, and I'm like, that is a very good. That I'm pretty sure that was very cool to see three princesses cleaning the town and everything. That could have been interesting to see happen.
Yeah.
Can we see that? Can
well,
we see and then theme song, the episode ends, and I'm like, God damn it!
But honestly
God damn
speaking,
it, episode.
what I really like if they could do this, someone from IDW write a story related to that. Yeah, just
I
that
want to
scene.
see.
Yeah,
I
that
want
would be
to see a
awesome.
side comic related to that event.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would just be awesome.
But the thing about this episode is that the reason why it works, I thought this episode was okay, but it could have been so much better. However, I think it works because it's exactly like Secret of My Excess from Rarity's point of view. Is that in Secret of My Excess you had Spike consumed by his greed, taking control of everything and gathering all of this, hoarding a massive amount of stuff, and then it needed the help of a good friend, in this case Rarity, to calm him down. The same way in this episode, Rarity needed the help of Spike to calm down before her excessive imagination took control of everything and just consume Ponyville into just an ordeal of gold plates, gemstones, and just gaudy
Madness.
scenery. I keep using the word gaudy, but there is nothing else to describe it. It's just so overloaded, and it's like the Renaissance happened to Ponyville in the worst way possible. You see?
Yeah.
Oh
Purple
man,
Prose
it's
everywhere, man. Purple Prose
so
everywhere.
baroque. But is that this episode reminds me a lot. You are a guy, a kid of the 90s, right, Norman?
Yeah.
So you were raised during the time that all of those PSAs, anti-drug PSAs, were going on. The whole no stop that cartoon with Alvin and the Chipmunks telling the child not to take drugs or anything like that. And the one and that one episode of Saved by the Bell where one of the characters takes caffeine pills. In order to stay awake and keep studying. That was basically like, it was a direct reference to just drug addiction and all that. This episode is like that. All the way down to them using one of the dialogues from Saved by the Bell into the show.
Really?
When Rarity screams, "I'm so excited! I'm so excited!" and then Spike is like, "I'm so scared." That is straight out of Saved by the Bell. And you can check the show writers panel from Babscon that was recorded in Ponyville Live. You can check it out. Somebody asks Meghan McCarthy about that, and she actually blatantly said, "Yeah, we took that from Saved by the Bell." The episode, if you remember, the episode where it comes from is very similar to our episode because it touches very similar subjects.
Oh, that's awesome. Now I need to
yeah,
watch it.
This episode is an anti-drug PSA in disguise.
And you will never
It
know.
is.
And you will never know.
I am so happy about the existence of this episode. It was so good.
That is true. That's true.
But I think that's about it. That's where my my gushing about this episode ends. It's like love Rarity, love Spike, love the PSA theme to it, and love the very first 10 minutes of the episode. But everything else is kind of like a wasted opportunity.
Yeah. But overall,
ideas go kind of out of the of the way. It kind of like loses. Yeah, they go out of the window. It kind of loses focus. For a moment, we start following Twilight Sparkle for no good reason whatsoever. And for a moment, I thought that's what the episode was going to turn into. But for what it is, I think this is a very good episode. Corey Powell keeps herself into her own line, keeping the characters speaking like real people. And yeah, overall, it was okay. It was okay. My opinion doesn't change from that. It's not my favorite episode of the season, but it's definitely better than Rainbow Falls, which was Corey Powell's last episode until this one.
Yeah, and as for me, it was not bad. I do like the interaction between Spike and Rarity, and the most hardest part is Spike with Owlicious. How do you react to that? Like, how do you work off that? Think about it. Is Kathy Westluck in the studio talking to herself? Essentially talking to herself.
Does she voice Owlicious?
No, it's just talking to herself. If you think about it, she's just talking to herself, and the owl just goes, "Who?" It's just that.
Yeah. She's having a dialogue. Yeah, she's having a dialogue with herself. That is true.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's an interesting episode. I do like it.
I like the idea and I like the concept, but the execution, you know what? It's like Hearts and Hooves Day. The episode starts really strong. It starts really great. It has a very good kickstart. But then as the episode progresses, it just keeps getting flatter and flatter and flatter. And then towards the end, it's almost not flowing at all. It's just stall. Which I think that's the main problem with the episode, is that it gets stalled real fast, real soon, and it could have been going for a bit longer. I mean, I like it all right, but now it sounds like I'm being super critical on it. But it's on its own, it's a rather slow episode towards the end. The first 10 minutes, perfect. Put them on a frame, awesome. If the episode had kept that rhythm, I would have liked the episode a lot more.
True.
But then again, it's very difficult to follow and act like having Rarity eating ice cream on her fainting couch and just going, oh.
True. Well, as for me,
I swear to God, I had that clip on a loop for an entire day. It was awesome.
Oh my goodness. Well, as for me, like I said, my opinion, I like the episode, but it's not to a higher standard. But it doesn't mean that I don't like it. If I had to give it a rating, I'd say a high 9.
Okay, that's cool. Dude, no problem. And I could do, no, wait a minute. No, yeah, I have a problem with you. How dare you give this episode such a high rating? Oh my God, what the hell is your problem? Who do you think you are and where do you think you are? You're in my stream, God damn it. You're going to hate this episode the same. No, I'm joking.
But anywho, what's next week's? This is going to hurt me.
Yeah,
this is going to make me hurt.
Next episode, we're going to review. It's Equestria Games, written by Dave Polsky. That's episode 24 of season 4. Oh my gosh, Dave Polsky writes another episode right before the season finale, and it's an Equestria Games episode. How is it going to fare? Is he going to be put against the wall like it happened with Games Ponies Play, or is it going to be a much better episode? Well, find out on the next episode review. I have been James Corck.
And I am Norman Sanzo.
And we'll see you guys on the next video.
Hey, bye.
Bye-bye.